You hear about the attacks that happen, but what about the ones that never did? Every day, American military and intelligence teams stop deadly terror plots before they ever reach your newsfeed. No headlines, no viral footage, no glory, just quiet professionals doing the job and saving lives you didn't even know were at risk. Today, we're diving into how the US military has stopped terror attacks you've never heard about. Covert missions, sting operations, elite operators working in the shadows. Stay with us, because one of these stories involves a planned massacre on US soil, and it was only stopped because one civilian saw something and said something. Let's get into it. First up, Operation Red Dawn. You've heard of it, sure. But most people forget just how dangerous this mission really was. December 13, 2003. US forces capture Saddam Hussein. But this wasn't just a symbolic victory. This was a calculated move to stop a second insurgency before it ever began. After Baghdad fell, Saddam vanished. He went deep underground. And the insurgency ramped up fast. IEDs, sniper attacks, coalition forces getting ambushed every day. Intelligence warned that Saddam was still pulling strings. If he had escaped to Syria, if he had regrouped, he could have reignited a full-blown insurgency. So the Pentagon launched a high-risk manhunt. Delta Force, 4th Infantry Division, intelligence support activity, the best of the best. They called it Operation Red Dawn, after the old Cold War movie. For weeks they ran raids, tracked signals, interrogated loyalists, and finally, they zeroed in on a remote farm near Tikrit. There, inside a tiny underground hole, they found him, bearded, disheveled, armed, but stunned. The world saw the footage, but behind that takedown was a covert intelligence operation spanning months. Without it, Saddam could have disappeared forever, and Iraq could have plunged into even deeper chaos. Red Dawn wasn't just a capture mission, it was a preemptive strike against a second war. Now let's talk about something you probably haven't heard at all. The Fort Dix Terror Plot. A group of 6 radicalized men, mostly from Eastern Europe, were planning a mass shooting at Fort Dix, New Jersey. Their goal? Infiltrate the base, open fire with AK-47s, throw grenades and kill as many US troops as possible before going down in a blaze of jihadist glory. They trained in the Pocono Mountains, they watched Al-Qaeda propaganda, they filmed themselves firing automatic weapons. This was a full-blown domestic terror cell. But here's the twist. They got caught because one civilian paid attention. They took their homemade jihadist training video to a local circuit city to have it transferred to DVD. That employee saw something that didn't sit right. He called the cops. That one call kicked off a massive FBI counterterrorism investigation. Surveillance, wiretaps, undercover agents, informants. The works. Eventually the feds moved in and arrested the cell before they could launch the attack. No one died, no soldiers were harmed, and the story barely made the news. But make no mistake, that day could have ended in a bloodbath, and it was stopped cold by intelligence work, teamwork, and one watchful American. Now let's move to a mission everyone knows, but few understand. Operation Neptune Spear, the Bin Laden Raid. May 2, 2011. SEAL Team 6 flies into Abbottabad, Pakistan, and takes out the most wanted man in the world. But behind that mission were years of intelligence operations. The CIA tracked a courier. NSA intercepted signals. ISA operators on the ground confirmed identities. A mock compound was built in North Carolina so SEALs could rehearse every room, every doorway, every stairwell. Stealth helicopters, suppressed weapons, a backup force ready to fight the Pakistani military if it came to that. This wasn't just a raid, it was a full-scale counter-terrorism operation executed with surgical precision. And if it had failed, bin Laden could have escaped again. Al-Qaeda would have gained strength. Instead, it was a death blow to jihadist leadership. A statement to the world, if you attack America, we will find you, no matter where you hide. But not every victory happens overseas, some are stopped right here on US soil. In 2011, a man in Virginia plotted to blow up the Marine Corps base at Quantico. His plan? Plant explosives, target US Marines, kill civilians. He was a naturalized citizen, a so-called lone wolf. But he was deeply radicalized. The FBI and military counterintelligence tracked him through undercover informants and intercepted communications. They arrested him before he could build the bomb. Another deadly attack stopped before it could even begin. No national panic, no breaking news banner, just another silent victory you never heard about. And here's the real takeaway. These stories, Operation Red Dawn, Fort Dix, Neptune Spear, Quantico, they're just the ones we know. There are dozens, maybe hundreds, of terror plots that have been stopped in silence. Dirty bombs intercepted, assassination plans dismantled, cyber attacks blocked, operations carried out by Delta Force, CIA paramilitary teams, NSA analysts, and even civilian patriots who refuse to look the other way. You don't hear about them, you're not supposed to. But they happen, every single year. So while the media obsesses over what's wrong with the military, just remember what's right about it. The men and women who stop the fight before it even begins. The warriors who don't ask for credit. The teams who win the battles no one ever sees. Which of these missions surprised you the most? Have you heard of other silent victories we should cover in a future video? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe in strength, vigilance, and the quiet professionals who keep this nation safe, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to Veteran Spot. We bring you the stories the media ignores, and the heroes America should never forget. Stay alert, stay proud, stay free.